Okay. Hello, whorey8. You are being interviewed for Divisional Sergeant Major of MRTC. I'm going to ask you a few
Oh my,
questions and just respond to the best of your ability, okay?
bro, you guys know, before I answer, before I start, bro, Hammer was like, shut up, pizza. Hammer sounded mad, so it looked like he was like finding something bad out, bro. I was so scared, bro. Oh,
Just answer these questions to the best of your ability, okay?
yeah, yeah.
Alright. First one. What makes you fit for the Divisional Sergeant Major position?
Um, I think I have a lot of qualities that make me fit for the position of MRGC DSM. I think the main one is it's my ability to integrate with all levels of like low com. I find that something I'm like really good at, especially when I try. Like I'm friends. I cannot tell you how many face candidates I'm friends with, how many low com the low com that talk to me, I'm able to be friends with, right? Because there's some low com that we're having some issues with, and so we're trying to sort that out. I'm actively trying to sort that out. But all the low com that are like able to host and willing to, have conversations with mid com, I'm strengthening those relationships. And I'm not 100% sure if their activity is a byproduct of those conversations, but I definitely do see that I definitely do see it as like a skill that is benefiting MRCC actively, and so it's something that I will continue to do, and it's something I'll probably do harder if I were selected for the position of DSM, because um that's something I notice now, is like I know it's like very difficult on the current MRGC HiCom because you guys are new, Pete's just getting up LOA, that kind of thing, that you need someone that's able to, you know, communicate with communicate with all levels of management. So that's mid-com, low-com phase candidates. And so I think a big role of the DSM, the Divisional Sergeant Major, is to fill that role, be a supportive person within the division, for high com, for mid com, for low com, and that's a quality that I possess that I think makes me um, qualified and capable for the position of DSM.
Okay. Next question. How could you benefit MRTC as the Divisional Sergeant Major?
Um, I think a way I would be able to benefit MRTC as the divisional sergeant major is that I think I would be able to make the I think I'd be able to make things a lot more efficient. Um, I have plans on how like even mid-com meetings should be run for them to be as effective as possible. So this would allow, clear communication. There's no interruption. There's nothing like that. It's very easy to um, get one's point across. And so I think that's something that's going to benefit not only the high com to mid com relationship, it's also going to benefit that symbiotic relationship to the entirety of MRGC and MARSOC, because if MRGC, Midcom, and HICOM are not engaging and actively creating an environment where they're creating a sustainable future for the division, you're ultimately screwing over MRGC itself, and you're screwing over MARSOC, because we are essentially the backbone of this entire division. And if we're not functioning to the best of our ability, that's going to downplay a lot of the other that's going to downplay a lot of the other parts of the division. So, another thing I think I'll bring to this division as a DSM is my ability to handle administrative and logistical tasks. So I'm whether it's like doing the kick requests, doing the applications, etc., etc. That's something I'm able to do, something I'm willing to do. It's something I can do quickly. It's something that where it takes it off the hands of the CO and the XO, and it allows them to, and all of us to, come together, work together, and actually create something that's like nice. And ultimately, I think especially now and for the long run, that's something that this division really needs. We don't need a DSM that is, stern or, like over or anything like that. We need a DSM that is coming in passionate, wanting to get stuff done. A DSM that has the ability to like do these logistical administrative tasks. A DSM that has ideas on how this thing should be run. And so that means handling high-com meetings, handling low-com meetings, handling quota, handling anything that's really arisen itself as a problem. And that's something that I would 100% want to do. So that's something I would bring to the table to MRGC DSM.
Okay. What is community engagement?
Community engagement to me is honestly, it's kind of like like, community engagement can sometimes I think it can sometimes be reflected as, leadership. Um, I mean, it's a leadership in friendship, right? This is it's where, you don't, and you also don't need to necessarily be in a position of, seniority, but I think it's definitely important, and it's especially important when you're in a position of authority that you're engaging, you're actively talking, you're actively doing stuff, you're actively listening, and you're actively trying to and let me get to that. You're actively listening, you're actively talking, and you're creating these ideas, right? And that's super important for community engagement because at the moment, emergency is dealing with the issue of low com and some mid com feeling underappreciated, and so having a high com member and even mid com members that are wanting and willing to engage with low com and phase candidates is essential to ensuring that we're keeping all of our active staff. And so the second part of that community engagement is also acting. It's acting on those conversations that we participated in, right? Because you can listen so many times, you can talk back so many times, but at the end of the day, if you're not actually acting on on these in-depth, detailed conversations, your quote unquote community engagement is going to have little to no effect. If you're acting on these ideas, bringing them up with HighCom, bringing them up with AHQ, bringing them up with MS, wherever up the ladder it goes, these the power of community engagement just goes up through the roof. People feel heard, people feel appreciated, people feel motivated to do not only their job, but they feel motivated to, give ideas to Highcom because this is the division that is constantly going through a wave motion, right? And so when we're in a dip, we need to work together, all 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 sections of leadership, we need to work together and ensuring that it's a collective effort that we're taking ourselves we're putting ourselves up, right? We're putting ourselves up at the top of the wave, right? And we're creating another, golden age for MRTC. And community engagement to me is the first step of many steps to get to that golden age, right? So, yes.
Okay. And do you have any previous experience in a position like this?
Do I have any previous position like this? I do have like divisional sergeant major proof. However, it was in a I don't know if this counts, but it wasn't a group that was like the ANC. However, it was like much smaller and it probably took me like 14 months to get to that position. So like do you want me to like I'm kind of misunderstanding. Do you want me to like go into detail about like what my position was or
Oh, it's just
the
whatever you want.
experience?
Just however you want to
Okay.
answer the question.
Yeah, so I was in um the ANC And whilst I was in that position, as the not the divisional sergeant major, it's um how do I say this? It was the like the hmm, basically like a BXO kind of in term in yeah, basically like a BXO in MR. It would be like a BXO position, right? Is that does that make sense? Um, yeah, I was a BXO, and so within this position, my job was to conduct changing of the guards. It was to train color guards because I was in color guard. It was to hire and train other staff. It was to handle and create it was to handle and create all the administrative tasks. It was to come up with ideas for hiring, bringing up what do you call it? Bringing up activity, that kind of thing. That's what it was essential for. That's what my position was. And so I think, you know, once I had that position, and because I had taken so long to get to it, I had all these kind of skills refined. I find that you know, my ability to perform these tasks increases, especially because I'm in a position of experience, right? I know what it's like to be in a position of seniority, and I know what it's like to also be in a position of subordinates, right? And I think when it comes to being a good leader, you need to understand who and what you're speaking to, and you need to understand it from the view of someone that is low com or mid com, right? Instead of being one that's barking orders, that kind of thing. I find that um really just like being able to sit down, talk, communicate, understand, um, being able to being able to kind of like um well, I guess what the word I'm looking for is being able to communicate, being able to understand, being able to perform the task. I've already said all this, but that's those are the key kind of roles of that position. And so being the BXO, quote unquote, in that ANC kind of helped me refine, kind of helped me train, kind of helped me, do all the stuff required to bring as much as I can to the table at MRTC. And that's also not to say that I wasn't in MRTC for like months on end. Also, I have experience within MRTC. I have experience within multiple COs. I have experience now on how to actually, I don't know. That wasn't the question, so I'm gonna stop there. There might be another question on the experience, but um, unless there isn't, pizza. Is there like another question about experience, or can I like continue to talk about?
Just answer to the best of your ability. I can't really tell you the next question, so I ask them.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'll just put it there.
Okay.
Period.
All right. Next question. What is leadership to you?
Leadership can, be viewed through, I think, two main lenses, right? It can be viewed through the lens of someone who is in a position of seniority, someone who commands people in a position of subordinates, right? It's someone that comes in, has a high position, tells people in a lower position what to do. But truthfully, at its core, leadership and a successful leader is someone that is actively an example, someone that is an example. And because they are an example, and because they are an exemplary, because they're an exemplary person, they end up not leading by their words. They end up leading by their demonstration. They lead by example, and ultimately that leading by example most likely motivates people who are subordinates to you know complete complete their task, complete their job, because if you're seeing someone, especially in a position of seniority, that is so motivated to get this stuff done, you are going to feel compelled. You're going to feel motivated. You're going to feel like, I should be that kind of person, right? And so that's like the main integral part of leadership. But then leadership also comes into something where you need to communicate. Communication is key. Communication is the second main part of leadership. You need to have clear cut communication. You need to have understanding with everyone. You need to get beef settled immediately. You need to understand how to communicate and articulate ideas in these meetings. And so that's communication, that's leadership, that's communication within leadership. And these are all things that are completely necessary for a successful leader, and that are required for this division, MRTC, to be run successfully. You know, um, we need that. We need it. We need it greatly, and I think um, it's something that I not only possess the ability to do. I think it's something that I'm eager and wanting to bring to MRTC, because you know I care about this. I care about this division a lot, right? And I only wanted to succeed. And so, being a good leader, being someone that understands leadership, being someone that's able to share leadership, being able to help someone become a leader within lowcom, within midcom, and allow a division where it's a community of self-growing people that help this division be have like be sustainable and be successful, is something I really want. And it's also something that I think is truthfully leadership.
Okay. Next question. What makes you a good leader?
I think I might go on a bit of an orthodox kind of thing here. I'm gonna give two reasons why I'm a good leader, and I'm gonna give one reason why I'm a bad leader, because I think at the end of the day, no one's really the perfect leader, and we all have our own mistakes. And that's also a good characteristic of a true leader, a leader that is able to recognize his own faults, and to, you know, be open and willing to fix and correct that error for the betterment um of everyone else and not himself. Um, I think a quality that makes me a good leader is my ability to communicate, and it's my ability to listen. I cannot stress this enough. Speaking from someone that is in that has been in a low position, like low comp, that's an E8, that's an E9, that's a O1, that's a O2 or O3 going on. I cannot stress how important it is to feel heard, to feel appreciated, to, be recognized. And so, having someone that is, especially in a position of seniority, that appreciates you, that recognizes you, that motivates you, and that listens to you, is so important. And that's a quality that I have. It's a quality that I am proud of, and it's something that I will continue to do even outside of this group. I I I'm a leader outside of I'm a leader outside of this group. I run multiple organizations that make lots of money. I run lots of people at my young age, and even still, I'm able to be an effective and clear leader, because once I hop out these meetings, I'm a regular person, right? I'm a regular person when I'm hanging around MA. I'm a regular person when I'm hanging around in VC, right? And it's these moments where I'm just regular, that as a leader, I like to, and I try to always, sit and talk with people, understand how you're feeling, what do you think should be done. These kind of things, these insights help me, not only make a candidate or a low com or a mid com feel appreciated, feel heard. This also allows me to actively benefit and actively benefit the division, because I'm listening from someone that is actively experiencing my leadership. right? You know, I cannot automatically assume that what I'm doing is working if I'm not the one that is in direct result of my decisions. And so communicating with people that are experiencing my changes, that are experiencing my leadership and understanding what they view as good and what they view as bad is so important. It's not even funny. A second leadership quality that I think I possess is less in the leadership of, you know, being open, but it's more in the leadership of, it's more in the leadership category of the private behind the scenes work. Um, you know, I'm a motivated person. I'm a person that gets stuff done. And so behind the scenes, I am willing and able to do so much more than I am right now. And I think being put into the position of DSM will allow me to do so much more behind the scenes work and allow HighCom to do more, right? I'm I'm getting these tasks, you know, with three people. I and with three people and people that are motivated to do tasks behind the scenes, we're allowing for so much work to be done that it's really not. It's like it's not even like funny. We're like that's it's so important to be motivated. It's so important to want to do more work, and it's so important to be it's so important to be willing to do that work behind the scenes. So the way I probably want to word this is being is a quality of a good leader is being someone that is motivated to do work that is most likely going to go unrecognized. Someone that is willing to do so much for the division yet still be unrecognized because they did all this work not for the good of themselves but for the good of the division. And so that's something that I'm willing to do once I step into the position of DSM. And so that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to. And I think a quality that I probably need to that I most likely need to work on and develop is my ability to um what do you call it? Let me think. Um a leadership quality I need to work on. Give me a second, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Trust me. Sorry. I think um something I probably need to work on, and I think it's something that you guys probably actively experience. I know I can be quite annoying around the workplace, but I think I really do. It really is something that I'm working on changing, and it's these conversations that all of us have outside of these meetings that are helping me get to like that are helping me understand what I'm actually like when I'm in a leadership position. And I noticed that I think a quality that midcom, especially midcom and highcom, probably have with me is that I probably seem like a little bit of a micromanager, and I have a little bit of a lack of trust, right? And that lack of trust, that lack of trust leads me to just trying to complete tasks for people and just trying to take it over, when in reality what I need to do is I need to step back and allow someone to complete their task without humbugging them. And so that's something that I've learned from my conversations with people, and it's something that I'm actively like it's something that I'm actively it's something that when I step into the position of DSM, that I'm already actively trying to, you know, listen to the words I'm saying, like understand what I'm doing, and understand and think about how that might make other people feel. And so if I feel like I'm making someone feel like they're they're not trustable, making someone feel like I'm micromanaging them, and that's something that I can recognize before I do it. It's something that I want to address and fix immediately. And so, during these growing stages, I would appreciate it 100% if like when I sound like someone that's like maybe a little like micromanaging a little bit or something like that, please do let me know. Let me know if I'm like being annoying. You know, being open and honest is so important, and people understanding what you feel like is also so important. So, yeah,
Okay, last question. So,
yes,
do you plan on remaining dedicated and active to MRTC if hired?
most definitely. I I have tried out all the divisions that I wanted to, and really MRTC is my favorite one, and I like and I want to be the person that brings MRTC into a golden age, and I will not stop until MRTC is in that golden age. And I'm not someone that's very like flippy floppy, right? I'm not going to be bouncing between high composition to high composition within their different divisions. I'm going to remain with MRGC until they kick me out. Like I will be with MRGC for a long time. I'll remain dedicated. And maybe once the day comes that I find myself no longer being dedicated and that I'm eating up a position for someone that is more eager than me is the day that I will discharge. The day that I'm unable to perform my duties is the day I will discharge. But that day will not be for a long time. All right. I am someone that is deeply dedicated to something. And so that once I join it, I'm not going to stop until my job is truthfully done. And my job is not truthfully done until MRCC is in a golden age and MRCC is something that is sustainable for other leaders. All right. And that's something that I'm actually working hard to accomplish.
Alrighty, is that all? Alright, Hammer. You have anything to add?